Yeah, and this is a big move for Denver. This is the biggest transaction they've made in years. Cam Johnson was pretty much the most coveted wing on the trade market. Teams have been trying to get Cam out of Brooklyn for a year now. He is a high character guy.
The Denver Nuggets didn't just make small tweaks this summer. They completely reshaped their roster with one clear mission: ease the load on Nikola Jokic and chase another championship, creating one of the deepest, most dangerous squads in the NBA. So, what happens when the best player in the world finally has a bench he can rely on, and a front office and coaching staff that are actually aligned instead of clashing and undercutting each other? The answer is simple. If the Denver Nuggets play anywhere near their potential, they could emerge as the class of the NBA. Just a few years removed from hoisting the championship trophy, Denver has struggled to fully recapture that form. But heading into this season, with Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon returning alongside some massive offseason upgrades, the Nuggets look like a serious problem for the entire Western Conference. If the league handed out awards for best offseason, Denver would be the runaway favorite. The front office wasted no time reshaping the roster. They moved Michael Porter Jr. and his massive contract in exchange for Cam Johnson, giving up only a distant 2032 first-rounder to get it done. They offloaded the overpaid and declining Dario Saric, landing Jonas Valanciunas in the process. They brought back 2023 NBA champion Bruce Brown to re-establish defensive toughness and versatility off the bench. And they added Tim Hardaway Jr., a proven microwave scorer who can swing momentum in a matter of possessions. This isn't just about stacking depth around Jokic, it's about adding strategic depth. The kind that allows a contender to survive the grind of an 82-game season and still hold up under playoff pressure. And let's not forget, it was Denver, not anyone else, that pushed the reigning champion Oklahoma City Thunder harder than any team before the finals. Now, the Nuggets have reloaded with even more firepower around their returning core of Jokic, Murray, Gordon, and Christian Braun. On paper, this might be the single best team in basketball heading into the 2025-26 season. And that's not surprising when you look at Jokic's recent production: 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 10.2 assists per game. Those are video game numbers. Despite that, he somehow didn't win MVP last year. Though with 3 trophies in 5 seasons, he could easily have 4 or even 5 by now. No one is better in the NBA right now. And now that Denver has finally surrounded him with a reliable supporting cast that won't collapse the moment he sits, the rest of the league should be terrified. Jokic carried the Nuggets to the 4th seed practically on his own last year. Now, with legitimate reinforcements and rising young talent like Braun continuing to develop, Denver is positioned to contend for years to come.
Scored, got the steal, ahead to Brown, who soars, and clutches.
Christian Braun absolutely thrived when he stepped into the Denver Nuggets starting lineup during the 2024-25 season. When Kentavious Caldwell-Pope left for Orlando in free agency, the shooting guard spot was wide open. Braun seized the opportunity with a monster training camp, held on to the role all year, and went on to start 77 of the 79 games he played. The biggest story? Consistency. Braun scored in double figures in 71 games, more than Steph Curry, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. Yeah, you heard that right. And it wasn't just about volume. He was efficient, ridiculously efficient. Braun shot a career-best 57.8% from the field, ranking 8th in the league among players who logged at least 70 games. That leap in production and efficiency earned him 4th place in Most Improved Player voting. Braun also became one of the league's most dangerous transition threats. He led the entire NBA in fast break points with 403, blowing away second-place Zach LaVine, who finished with 332. Just a year earlier, Braun ranked 80th in that category. That's an incredible leap. Analytics back it up too. His true shooting percentage jumped by 11.1% year-over-year, the largest improvement in the league. In fact, he became the first guard since Steph Curry in 2016 to average 15-plus points per game while shooting over 65% true shooting. His 66.5% mark ranked number 1 among all starting guards. And here's the best part: even with the expanded offensive role, Braun never lost his defensive edge. He remained one of Denver's toughest perimeter defenders, putting in standout work against James Harden and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the playoffs. So now the question becomes, can Braun level up again? Based on his track record, from high school to college to the NBA, and his well-known work ethic, it's hard to bet against him. Still, internal development can only take a team so far. Nuggets fans know this better than anyone after the quiet off-seasons of 2023 and 2024. That's why the summer of 2025 felt so different. This time, Denver's front office got aggressive and nailed every single move. The headliner was swapping Michael Porter Jr. and his massive contract for Cam Johnson in the starting five. Johnson's been stuck in basketball purgatory with the Brooklyn Nets for the past 2.5 years, so it's fair if most fans still think of him as that promising young role player from the Suns' 2021 finals run. But now, he's stepping into a situation where he doesn't have to carry a star load. He won't leapfrog Jamal Murray as Denver's second option, but as a third or fourth option behind Jokic, Murray, and Gordon. Johnson is set to thrive. Defenses are going to be so locked in on Jokic and Murray that Johnson will feast on open looks. And when Denver needs more from him, he can deliver. That's the part of his game he sharpened in Brooklyn, evolving beyond the classic 3-and-D archetype into a versatile scorer who can attack off the dribble. Add in his solid defense, and the domino effect it creates across the roster, and Denver suddenly looks even scarier. When Michael Porter Jr. was on the floor, you couldn't hide Jamal Murray defensively. And when both Porter and Murray shared the court, it became much harder to give Nikola Jokic the help he needed. Every team has to cover for its offensive stars, but with that trio the stress on Denver's defense was overwhelming. Aaron Gordon and Christian Braun did their best, but they simply couldn't compensate for everything. That's exactly what made Kentavious Caldwell-Pope so valuable during Denver's championship run. He wasn't an all-world defender, but alongside Gordon he gave the Nuggets lineups where the defensive math finally worked. With him gone, Denver had to retool. This year's Nuggets look a lot different, and in some ways they resemble last season's Timberwolves. Long, versatile defenders everywhere. Peyton Watson, Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, returning after a year away, and newcomer Cam Johnson now surround the league's most dangerous offensive hub in Jokic. The key difference, of course, is that Minnesota's engine was a shooting guard, while Denver's is a center who also happens to be the best player in the world. That balance gives the Nuggets flexibility few teams can match. If an opponent runs its offense through wings, Denver can throw Bruce Brown or Peyton Watson at the star. If the threat comes from the power forward spot, Aaron Gordon takes the assignment. If it's a guard, the underrated Christian Braun is capable of stepping up. There isn't really a team archetype that should scare Denver defensively, and that's a rare luxury in today's NBA. That said, the roster isn't flawless. The Nuggets still lack a true second-unit creator, and they don't have a defense-first center. Jonas Valanciunas, though, is arguably the best backup Jokic has had during his prime. He's a beast on the boards, punishes defenders inside, and is a surprisingly good passer. But he can really only defend one way: drop coverage. Even then, opponents will likely target him. Then again, Jokic has similar limitations at times, and Denver already knows how to scheme around that, usually by leaning on Gordon or using a rangy power forward as support. On paper, this Nuggets team looks ready to run a 10-man rotation. Valanciunas, Bruce Brown, and Tim Hardaway Jr. will anchor the bench, with Peyton Watson and Julian Strawther also playing major roles. But Denver isn't forgetting about their 2024 first-round pick, Darren Holmes. Holmes lost what should have been his rookie season to a torn Achilles, but expectations inside the organization are sky-high. The 22nd pick out of Dayton, Holmes was a standout in the pre-draft process after a stellar year with the Flyers. According to Keith Smith of Spotrac, one Denver coach flat-out said Holmes is a rotation player from day one, adding that he would have already carved out that role if not for the injury. Coaches describe him as a beast on both ends who can shoot, stretch the floor, and attack off the dribble as a big man. He'll likely start on a short leash, but his motor, energy, defensive versatility, and floor spacing should quickly win over both coaches and fans. A second-unit frontcourt of Holmes, Watson, and Valanciunas would give Denver absurd size and physicality, nightmares for other benches to handle. Holmes was one of the bright spots in the 2025 Summer League, looking fully healthy. Head coach David Adelman even joked, "Start the Rookie of the Year campaign for whatever award Holmes is eligible for," since he didn't log a single minute last season. For a team that already came within striking distance of knocking out the reigning champs, adding a healthy Holmes could be the final boost Denver needs.
Spinning, baseline, puts it up and in. Gorgeous move by Nikola Jokic.
Darren Holmes could be another springboard piece toward a run at the Larry O'Brien Trophy. But even with all their depth, one concern still lingers. The Nuggets don't have a clear backup point guard. Denver is unique in how little it leans on traditional point guard play. Their entire offense flows through Nikola Jokic's vision and passing. Still, Jamal Murray remains essential. He's their best perimeter scorer and a steady secondary playmaker. Over the last 3 seasons, he's averaged 20.9 points and 6.2 assists on elite efficiency. The issue? He's also missed at least 15 games in each of those years. History suggests Denver will once again need someone to step in as a temporary starter more often than they'd like. Jalen Pickett has some upside. His per 36 numbers, 11.1 points, 5.8 assists, and decent shooting splits, hint at potential. But with just 76 games of NBA experience, he's hardly a sure thing. The safer option is Bruce Brown, sliding back into the hybrid role he played during the Nuggets' 2023 championship run. Brown's ability to toggle on and off the ball while stabilizing the second unit with his defense and versatility makes him a natural insurance policy if Murray misses time. Either way, this roster is a massive step up compared to the conservative, scratch that, downright baffling, off-seasons that followed Denver's title. But make no mistake, everything still runs through Nikola Jokic. And after this summer, he might be hungrier than ever. Serbia's shocking round of 16 exit at Eurobasket, a tournament they were favored to win, was a gut punch. Missing their second best player due to injury didn't help, but the upset loss to Finland was brutal. For Jokic, it was a golden chance at a signature international triumph, and it slipped away. By all accounts, he took it hard. Jokic is a proud, hyper-competitive player, and while the loss wasn't his fault, he'll still feel like he let his country down. Watching NBA rivals like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Alperen Sengun, and Franz Wagner lead their national teams deep into the tournament had to sting. But here's the silver lining for Nuggets fans: this could be fuel. First off, Jokic still balled out, finishing top 6 in both scoring and rebounding while tying for second in efficiency. And the early exit spared him from another week of high-intensity basketball, giving him extra recovery time before an NBA season that will already demand everything from him. More importantly, the disappointment could light the fire. Jokic can't rewrite Eurobasket history, but he can channel that frustration into another dominant NBA run. Winning another championship would be the ultimate redemption arc, and this time, he won't be short on help. With Denver's retooled depth chart, Jokic finally has the reinforcements he needs to conserve energy during the grind of the regular season and sharpen his focus for the biggest moments in the playoffs. No Nuggets fan wants to see Jokic lose, especially in such a painful fashion. But if this summer's heartbreak fuels him to another MVP-caliber season and another finals push, that Eurobasket exit will fade into the background quickly. The Nuggets have Jokic. They have depth. They have answers. And this season, they might just have another championship. Do you think Denver has what it takes to pull it off? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash the like button if you believe Jokic is getting another ring, and don't forget to subscribe for more NBA breakdowns.